Hey, in this particular video, we will be discussing about continuous deployment using Azure Data Factory and Azure DevOps. For this particular demonstration, let me go ahead and create two resource groups. Let me call one of them as a dev resource group, and then I will call the other one as a prod resource group. Okay, one is done. Let me create the other one. Let me call it as a prod. That's fine. We'll go ahead and create it. Let me open them in the new tab. Okay, looks like it's been provisioned and in here. Okay, within each of these resource groups, we'll go ahead and create a data factory. So let me go ahead and click on the create button on the top. Go to marketplace. Let me search for data factory. Click create data factory, and then here in the prod, we'll call it as an prod data engineering 75, and we'll put it in the Kerala Central Zone. Next, configuration, we'll configure it later, and then we'll say next, this is good, review it and create it. Okay, in the same way, let's go to dev data factory. So data factory, this is going to be in the dev resource group. Let me create it, data factory. Okay, let's call it as devs 75 dev d 75. This is what we're going to call, and this is going to be okay. Canada is what we'll add in it. Okay, Canada Central, review and create. Okay, let's while it gets deployed, let's go to resource here. Okay, and let's go back to the prod resource group. We would see our data factory created here. Let me also go ahead and create an storage account. Okay, and the storage account, let's go ahead and create it, and we'll call it as an, okay, here it is, prod storage account range during 75. Okay, it is looking for no dashes. That's what it's gonna look for. Okay, prod SA 75 Canada, that's what we're gonna name. And the primary purpose of is blob storage and Gen 2 storage lake is what we'll use. Local redundant is fine, review and create. Probably we'll check on the advanced settings as well, one of those things, because we have to have an hierarchical namespacing, right? That is in the advanced hierarchical namespacing, and rest of the things should be clear and good. Okay, in the same way, let's go to dev resource group. We'll also create a storage account here. Okay, storage account, and here it is. Click on create storage account. Okay, this is still in the production. Let me copy the name so that we maintain the consistency here, right? Prod, we'll change it to dev, and next is advanced, and in here hierarchical namespacing, review and create. This is what we want. Okay, so it is creating, and in here also it is getting created. So as we speak, two resources per resource group is created, that is data factory and storage accounts have been created, both in prod and dev. Okay, at the same time, let's also create one more resource called keyword. Okay, let's go to the marketplace and call it a keyword. Okay, so here is our keyword. Let's go ahead and create it, keyword. And in the prod, let's call it as prod. Yeah, let's instead of storage account, we call it as keyword, kv. Okay, and I'm gonna create it in the Canada Central standard pricing tier. The rest of the things, 90 days retention policy of the keyword. Access, the role base is good. Vault access policies is something that you can set up. Here is the users that you can define. At the same time, you can also create more users, such as like what kind of permissions do they have. So let's give them the secret policies. Um, okay, don't have to list it, but get list and set are the three policies that I'm gonna choose, and in here, whom I'm gonna give it. Okay, as we are in the prod, there is a prod data engineering 75. I think uh, this is our data factory, right? So let's select that and hit next and next and create. Okay, that is an application we are giving access. So review and create, and that should help us to create our keyword in the production as well. So let's go to the different resource group, the dev resource group. Here also we'll create a key vault. Okay, so key vault is what I'm going to create. Dev key vault certified Canada. So central Canada is where I want this one as well. Standard there is done, and access vault. Let's create access policy. Get cell list. Okay, so that should be good permissions. And in here we have to look for our data factory. Okay, this is our data factory camera. Okay, so that's also added. Let's review and create. So it's getting created. That's good. So we have created our storage accounts, right? Let's go ahead and create a few folders in the storage account as a demonstration purpose. So let me go to the prod resource group, and here I have my storage account, and within the storage account I'll go to the storage browser, containers. Okay, let me add a container called data, and within the data let me upload a file. Okay, here is our file which is called plains.csv. I'm going to upload it here in the prod. In the same way, we'll go to the dev. Okay, within the storage account, containers, and let me add a container called data, and within that data container, let's load, let's load a file, upload. So we have the files here. Okay. At the same time, we also have configured our key vaults in such a way that Data Factory can go ahead and access them, right? So you can also double check it here. If you go to the Data Factory, no, the key vault in the IAM roles, you should be seeing our uh, key vaults being assigned here. Give me a second. Okay, here you see this is me. At the same time, you should also see we should be seeing our application here. Okay, let's also from this side we'll also give it access. So security user is what I want to give. So let's hit next and then uh, click the member. Okay, and in here as it's a dev data factory, I thought I gave it to it this one, but when we were doing it, I don't know what's happened in there. So let's redo it anyways. Here we have given different role as well. All right, total three. Here it is. Managed identity, secret key vault a secret user, right? Let's also do the same to the same thing to our key vault here, saying that it will be able to it will be accessible from the data factory. That's what I want to. So add a role assignment and then key vault reader secret user. Okay, and then here it's also same thing, our data factory. Ouch. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's go back to the dev, and in here we have the data factory. Let's go launch data factory here. Okay, so while it gets launched, I want to show you a little bit about DevOps. So within Azure DevOps, there is a certain thing called organization. So usually it will look like same like Azure portal, but this is called Azure DevOps. So here with me as a default directory, I have one of my Visual Studio based projects. So within this, I have a project called My First Project. And here, let's just see what kind of repos do I have. So I have a repo called a DEADF repo. So let me do one thing. I will go back to my project level and here, so my file was my first project. Okay, so let's okay, here let me go to this one and in here, that's fine. So here we have this bunch of projects, right? So let's go back to our dev. What I'm going to do is I'll launch the data factory. So once we have the data factory launched, what I'm going to do is I'll set up a new code path, new code repository. So in here it's going to show me DevOps, and in here I'm going to choose default directory, and then it will ask me what is my organization. This is what I'm going to pick up, and in here project management, my first project. If I have a repository, that's fine. If I don't, then I'm gonna create one repository here. So this one I'm gonna say dev dash, okay, I'm gonna say adf d is what I'm gonna call it, adf dash d. Okay, and these are regular things, which is master is a collaboration branch, and you can have an publish, ADF publish. This is the more important one because this is the publish branch where it will get updated to the data factory live version. So rest of the things, they are pretty default and all. So you can click an apply button here. Once you click apply, it will take a minute to launch our uh, live version. Okay, yeah, repo version, I mean. So if I go to author now I should be seeing the master branch. So what I'm going to do is within the manage, I have the link service, right? So I'm going to create a new storage account. Okay, so I'll call it as storage account data. Okay, dash data. Okay, I cannot have dashes, I can have underscore data. That's my pipeline name. Sorry, storage account connection name. So here it is asking what kind of authentication. It's an account key authentication. Instead of connection stream, I'm gonna take it as a from the vault. That's what my work gonna be. So how am I gonna fix it? So let me go back to the resource group. Within the dev resource, I have the storage account. All right, let me click on the storage account. In the keys level, let me click on that one and copy it. One of the connection string is what I'm going to copy it. And let me go back to the Azure Key Vault. Okay, with the IAM level, I think I have granted enough access to it to make sure that I would be able to assign a specific role. So I'm a owner contributor, so both of those accesses should help me to create keys, secrets. I mean, so let me click it. Okay, let's call this as ADLS, and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, create it. So that is created within the dev region. So in the same way, when I go to the prod, okay, if I want to create a secret, what I'm going to do is I'll go to its storage account. Okay, here is a storage account. I'm sorry, keys, access keys, copy an access key, go back to the key vault, generate an import. I'm going to name it as ADLS, and I'm going to paste the key here and create it. So now I have keys in two places, right? Production storage account keys and production key vault, dev storage account keys and dev key vault. Okay, so let's go back to the data factory, and here in the key vault, it's gonna ask me, do I have a link server for the key vault? No, I don't. Let me go ahead and cancel this, discard. First of all, I want to create a linked service for the key vault. Okay, we'll say key vault is what you have to create. Okay, so dev key vault is what its subscription is, a free trial subscription. The key vault name is dev subscription. So, and we can click create. It'll auto test it as well. So you should have access on it because we are creating it. All right. At the same time, on the key vault, once you hit the new storage, blob storage, connect. Here it is going to ask you, this is your key vault link server, and then it's going to ask me the secret name, ADLS. I'm going to say pick up the latest version. So that way I have a new link server created. So when I go to the pipeline, I can create a pipeline, new pipeline, but I need data sets, right? So let me go ahead and click create data set. I'm gonna say it's a blob storage default. Link server is gonna be this one. And then here, let's go to the root. Data. And in here, in the data, we should see a file pipeline. I want to say okay. Okay. So as of now, it's mentioned as an in. Let me create one more data set for the same storage account. Okay, delimited file is fine. I want to select the link server. Okay, I just named it as a data folder. I'm not going to mention the file name and all. That's totally fine. This is done. All right, I can also rename this as an out. Now I have two data sets and a pipeline. Okay, I can just name it as an copy data. Okay, that's simple pipeline. What I'm going to use within the move and transformation, I would copy the copy data from here, and in the source, I'm going to pick up an in data set, whereas in the sync, I'm going to choose out data set. Okay, now this is all done. I could save, click on save button, and this is going to tell me what all the changes that have happened here. First of all, okay, now it is saying that it's copying it to Git. Meanwhile, let's go to our DevOps pipelines or DevOps itself, and in the repos, we should be seeing our new repo, which is called um, ADFD. That is our new repository. Okay, uh, and you can see here now it's creating it all, right? Um, just now, 7 minutes ago, did a factory, and it is also creating the link servers, and everything is in here. Pipeline, link servers, pipeline, data sets, a factory by itself is what this one is. Okay, so let's see here. Now it's all saved. Let's publish it. Okay, so these are all the items it's gonna get published. Okay, two link service says two data sets and one pipeline. So let me do one thing. I will cancel it, and let's wait for a minute or two. Okay, let's go to our DevOps. Here is our repository, and in the pipelines, what I'm going to say, I'm going to click a create pipeline. Okay, in fact, actually, a release pipeline is what I'm going to create. Okay, here is already existing one, but we can create one more new release pipeline, and I would pick up an empty job set. Okay, and here I have to add artifacts. So it will be from here. Okay, Azure first project, and repos is going to be, and the default branches, area of published branch, latest is fine, and aliases is fine. Okay, let me click on the artifacts. So once the artifacts is there, you have to have an agent job. So in here, I am going to say ARM template build is what I'm going to add, and within the ARM template, I'm going to say resource connection. I have to choose a free trial connection, resource manager connection, and subscription is going to be a free trial subscription, and within it, create and update resource group is what I want. And resource group that I'm going to choose is prod resource group, because whatever changes I have done in the dev, when I publish it, I want those changes to be applied onto DevOps. And using that artifacts, I want to invoke an agent job that will copy it and move it into prod resource group. Okay, location is Canada Central, right? That is good. And a template, it is asking for a template, and in here, so let's leave the template parameters. Okay, as of now, we do not have templates and template parameters. Let me do an other way around. So I think we may have to publish it all first hand. That way, all the data factory stuff will get in there. Okay, now it's all published. Okay, even if I take off of from master branch and switch to the live mode, I should still see the pipelines and everything in here. Okay, pipelines and data sets are already there, and it's also generating the ARM templates, right? That is what we're going to use in the release pipeline. Okay, so this is done. So let's go back here. Probably we may have to start from here in this subscription. This one, production. Okay, and here it's going to say linked artifacts, and then from the template, okay, this is the my template. And in the parameters, I have to choose, there is one more parameters file here. This is the file, ARM template parameter file. And then within the override tab, I have to choose a few things, which is of a data factory name. And in the production, it is called, well, let's go to the prod, it is called prod-de-75, right? So we're gonna name the same way here, prod-de-75. Okay, there is no Canada there in the prod. Prod-de-74. Okay, this is same property ADLS. Okay, and key vault URL will also change. Instead of dev, it's called a prod key vault. Okay, rest of the things will be pretty much same. I'm gonna say okay and save it. Okay, now I have to put an automatic deployment. So this is a continuous deployment trigger. So whenever somebody pushes it into in the ADF publish, that's when it will commit here, come and invoke it. So this is good. You can click on save. Everything will get saved. All right. So let's close this all. So that means if I go to my dev data factory and on the copy data tab, if I just remove the name it has, it will invoke the changes. No, I should have not done it here. Okay, so let's Control Z it, go to data, discard and continue, GitHubs, and it will go to the master. And in the master, if I remove this copy data one from here, and we're gonna click on save button, okay, it's gonna pop up this commit session, and it's gonna get saved. Okay, once it gets saved, you could also go to the DevOps here to see how is your report work? So if I want to go to my repo and go to my master branch, I could also see that within my link service, now within my pipelines, you could see just now my copy data pipeline got such certain changes. Just now is what it is trying to say. All right. So now it's in the master branch, but we also want it in the ADF publish because our ADF publish doesn't have any changes. All right. So let's go ahead and click on the publish and see our pipelines and everything gets popped up here. So let me click on publish here. Okay, copy data. Now if I go to my ADF pipeline, okay, current state of ADF is there, okay, which indirectly would return me all those things. Okay, on the side note for the release, we have to go to the release to make sure where is our release pipeline. Here it is. So this one should have got invoked. Okay, this is our new one, right? New release pipeline, uh, and I think it got invoked, and currently it's in the stage process. So that means when we go into the broad resource group, our data factory will have that pipeline and the two connections, two data sets along with the connection string for the linked services is what we should be seeing. So it is still in deployment phase. You can also click on the release one to see which phase it is and what happened. Okay, so it's 11:15 now and it's currently done. Okay, that's good idea. So let's go to the broader resource group and the broader data factory. Click on it. Okay, launch the data factory here, and within the data factory we should be seeing our pipeline here. Okay, let's go to the author tab and see. Here is our pipeline and here is our two data sets, and we should also see our link service, right? So let's go ahead and execute the pipeline. Okay, so as per our pipeline connectivity, the source and sink, it is just gonna pop it onto the data folder itself, right? Same folder, it'll create one more copy. That's what should have happened. So it succeeded. So that means in the production storage account, I have to see something. Uh, so let's go to the storage account here and click on the storage container. Right within the data, I have planes.csv 11:14:48. So it got modified right now itself. Okay. Even the same thing within the dev. Okay, we did not execute the dev data factory pipeline. So okay, it is still publishing. Okay, publishing done. Okay. So now if you click on debug on this one, here is our storage account. Usually you wouldn't find anything on the storage account unless until you write it with a different name or something like that. Yeah. So still here you see 11:16. It got just modified because we were trying to overwrite it, right? So that is how we would continuously deploy with the help of release pipelines. This is how we would configure. Okay. So with my particular example here, I was able to demonstrate in the production resource group. We did not touch the data factory, but the pipelines were there, and the two data sets and the link services were all created, and the link services were also updated to use ADLS secret that they have in there, right? So that is a example that I want to demonstrate.